Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the community key where we focus on us. We focus on you. So we're back. We're back with Candid Conversations. So we're just back for a little bit, but we got I need to move this out of the way. Special guest in the building. A good brother of mine. We've been knowing each other for how long now?
Man, a while, man.
About two,
Two
two
years.
years. Yeah. He goes by Big Red. He's one of the content creator brothers I knew for a while. Um, and it's the same thing with me. So it's Clive. You guys know me as Tol Aman. Same thing, content creator. And I've been dibbling dabbling a little bit with the content side of podcasting, which is kind of one of my main loves now. So as I said, you guys know this. We do from time to time. We go maybe once a month, and we kind of keep up with the foundation, of course, mental health, anything in branching out from that kind of region, kind of stuff. So today we're going to talk about content creators still, which is kind of part two from the last series. But we're also going to be venturing into hobbies, the reason why we do it, the reason why we love it, and stuff like that. So, Big Red, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Man, I'm the one and only Big Red Chill 87. Content creator slash truck driver slash family man slash God fearing man slash big stagnation, baby.
Here we go. That's good. So yeah, we're gonna start off with a couple things. So a lot of people ask questions. What is a content creator, right? So
Mm-hmm.
some people gather around more of like, oh, someone that streams, right? Because that's how, in my mind, that's how it started. I could be wrong, but the thing when I first hearing the word content creator or content process in that realm was people that actually stream, right?
Yeah.
But the more and more I got more involved, I realized it's actually not the case, right? So
Yeah.
content creator can be anyone in any industry. Someone that actually takes pictures, someone that um, records videos for a living, editing, so they're capturing that moment and they bring it out to the world, kind of thing, right? So, content creator could be as a videographer, someone that takes pictures, a blogger, a vlogger, or whatever you want to call it. Podcast, in my mind, is content creating. So, there's two sides of it. The old school version is you just record yourself talking, the actual vocal part of it, and you don't see the person, right? And
Yeah.
then you got the other part of this new venture, which I think has been going on for a few years now, where they have these guys record themselves, but I don't think I see them actually going live like what we do, right? But the same
Yeah.
thing, we're still recording. So back to you, Red. So what is your understanding as a content creator? But what is your in your mindset? What does that mean to you?
Uh, the general meaning of content creation.
Yeah, in your mindset.
So in my mindset, content creation is finding a way to make content. Uh,
Hmm.
like you said, a lot of people take content creators as streamers,
Yes.
and also, like you said, it's not just streaming. And that's one thing that I want to pinpoint right now is content creation is video editing, pictures, learning how to do thumbnails, uh, networking. Like, I mean, it's just all different kinds of content creation, man. Like when the pandemic hit, everyone became a content creator. Everyone became a streamer. It was like a baby boom.
Yeah.
Okay, with streaming. Uh, and now that things have somewhat went back to normal, it kind of died down, but it's picking up again. You know, people see streamers, they like, oh man, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a content creator, and it's not all what it's up to be. You know, people think they just hit go live. I'm a streamer, I'm a content creator. No, there's a lot in the background that goes on. You know, yes, stream. You know, I use streaming as a tool to network and connect with my community. That's what streaming is to me. That's how I connect with Big Stagnation. That's how we come together and enjoy what I do. But on the back end, that's where I'm in the background, spending hours editing videos, chopping up videos I done did, or games I done played, walkthroughs, or just anything, as far as that. So I mean, content creation is a job, it's a hobby, it's a passion for some people. It can go many different ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's my label of a content creator.
Okay. All right. So we got one more individual. Apologies, guys. She's having some computer issues. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Honeycomb, or Honeycomb Gaming, as I used to go by.
All right, welcome. And we've been knowing each other since like last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
about a year. Yeah.
About a year. Yeah. So me and her kind of linked up through, if you guys know anything about RP role playing. And we met through Big Red. So it's a small world. It's a content creator. It's a small network, but it's still big though. So if you kind of heard what we're talking about, what is in your mind? What is a content creator in your mindset, your understanding?
I mean, to me, a content creator is pretty much, getting on a live or recording stuff that you love doing. So, if it's something with a purpose, or if it's just a hobby, just doing what you love.
Okay, that's good. So Big Red kind of touched on something. He mentioned COVID, right? And a lot of people really got into the content side of streaming when COVID kind of came in. And for me, that was the first time I saw people actually streaming. I knew people did that, but never really saw it until I saw it for myself via Facebook, right?
Okay. Yeah, I can say the same for me.
Same? Okay. So, and I was working from home when that started. I was kind of forced to work from home, and through my little free times, and the kids was home because kids going to go to school, even though school was still going on. You had to become Mr. Principal or Mrs. Principal, Mr. and teacher. So it changed a lot of dynamic for a lot of people, right? And I can say in my household it did. So on my free times, like, we can't go nowhere. So what do? You start looking up stuff, and you just throw it in on Facebook or social media, and that's how I stumbled across. And believe it or not, the first person I saw was Rasta. The first person, and it was like, oh, okay, oh, and it was very intrigued. I was intrigued about it because if you saw his title, I think it's unapologetic something like that. And he's one of those raw, rare guys where he don't sugarcoat nothing. Right. So it kind of piqued my interest. I was like, all right. And then I started understanding, like, maybe I like playing games. Maybe I could do that. So it kind of piqued my interest of like, okay. And that's how I started doing my, like, your research, your analysis of like, so what all do you need to do? What all do you need and stuff like that? While I'm doing that, I met J.com, another streamer, another brother of mine I know off of Chicago. Then I met Shine, and all of us started playing COD together, right? So now Jay is now still a content creator, but does he stream? No, but he's also full-time, part-time into videography and pictures and stuff like that. So he's still capturing that content, but now his love has shifted into a different realm, right? So another category, but I was trying to get these guys on is people that play music for a living, right? To me, that's another content on the other side. You're capturing audience by ear, and sometimes you're also capturing by vision by performing live, right? So I was trying to get those guys, but they were busy. So I'm gonna shift a little bit and then go back into the content side. But the question is hobbies. What are some of the hobbies that you guys like to do on a regular? Is it just strictly this content, or what is it else do you like outside? So I have a couple of questions to that. That's the first part of it.
Okay, well, for me, I've grown to love to travel. Over the last decade or so, I've been a stay-at-home mom, and so my whole thing now is kind of finding new places to go, different things to see, and so that's a lot of what I'm focusing my time and attention on now.
Yeah.
I do go live on TikTok, uh, during the day, and I'll be on there studying or just chatting or people watching my everyday life. But that's pretty much it.
Okay. So you're still doing the same, just different platforms. Okay.
Well, I used to game.
I know.
I was a gamer 16 hours a day, but I don't really game anymore. So,
Okay. What about you, Big Red?
For me, man, hobbies, man, I love movies, TV shows, of course, gaming. I mean, that's what I do, you know. And I love trucking. That's a hobby. That's a hobby, a passion. Anything evolved around trucking.
Yep.
Uh, and I love food. Is that a hobby? Is food a hobby? Is that considered a hobby?
Hey, if you if you want to, I don't think there's no restrictions or anything in relation to
Oh
hey,
man.
if you like trying different foods, that's a foodie. Yeah, you can categorize that. Hey, that's a hobby.
Food,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Food is a hobby, man. But man, sports. I used to be big in sports, man. Not so much, man. Content just take over your life sometimes. But I used to love football, basketball, baseball, sports, and man, really just like traveling. Yeah, traveling is a big one. I
Okay.
like to travel and see new things. I like to
Mhm.
try new things.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up.
That's good though, because so that's another thing I'm trying, as you mentioned, I'm trying to venture into, and I tried to do it last year, but then I got so busy. But I want to start video blogging, like traveling, like capturing the moments you like, kind of do a speed through of you packing, going to the airport, and then like showing some stuff you can show, but sometimes you can't, right? But just showing that beginning to the end type of thing, where it might not be some people may not be to travel those places, and you're kind of giving them that ability to be there, even though they physically can't. So that's something I've always wanted to do. I got the equipment, just haven't done it. And I told myself this year I am going to do it. Like just capture stuff and make those short, because I see a lot of people do it. And then it's not more for the views, it's more of like capturing that moment of places that you always want to go. You know what I mean? And then you can always come back to it and look at it again. So like I've seen people do reviews at different resorts and um the do's and don'ts, the opinions on this and the opinions on that. And it's like I like stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? I would like to do some stuff like that. So that's something that I'm looking into start doing this year, and then kind of create. I'm not sure if I'll create another channel for it, because that's another thing. We as content creators got a lot of channels. It's hard to maintain, and I got a lot. So it's like I'll capture it, and I said I'll just keep it definitely. It'd be more of a YouTube kind of thing for sure. Um, but it's like that's something that I want to getting into. Let's see here. So yeah, Big Red said foodie. So I'm a foodie as well. I like going to different restaurants. I like trying different foods. Um, I'm one of those individuals like, how would I know if I like it or not unless you try it once? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, honeycomb.
Yes, sir.
So you say, let me see. You don't do the big gaming much anymore. You're more during the day or during the evening, just chatting with your community kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how was that transition?
I mean, it was tough, starting out with a community and doing the same thing every day for years, and going cold turkey to like, I'm not doing nothing, but we just talking. It was very different, a big change. I
Mm,
still struggle with it from time to time. I kind of miss, you know, the role play side of things, but I feel like it is a healthier transition for me, uh because of why I was, engaged in role play in the first place. I feel like this transition was necessary for me to further myself in life and what I needed to do.
okay. So life changes kind of forced it a little bit.
Oh, definitely. Like life and things happening in life had a role to play in everything. Life was the reason why I started streaming in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's just like
We all can say that though. Like yeah, it depends on what it is. We all chose this industry or because something caused it. For me, it was like COVID, but also life itself within myself personally, right? So I initially created Total Man 284 initially for me as a safe haven, as a bubble to kind of block out that craziness from outside kind of thing, right? But never thought that it would grow to this. Because in the beginning, you have your mindset of this is what I'm doing it for, but then it evolved into something else. So with that being said, as I said, I was doing the streaming part of it as my love, as my me time, as my take a break from the craziness and then kind of come back to it after a while. But I think within the first year, the podcasting keep coming to my mind because I've seen a lot of content guys would be in Discord having these conversations. I said, okay, that's pretty cool. And I think I got invited to one. What's his name? I Bleed War. He's the one that does a lot of the what's the game called again?
Apex.
Apex. And when I kind of got a taste of that, I was like, okay, I'm liking this. You can actually have conversation with like-minded individuals, good talking points, and there's a lot of positive reinforcement from each other, right? But at the same time, each person has his own point of view. So I kind of like that. And then I would see other content creators doing a lot of those podcast Discord stuff. And it kind of piqued my interest because as I said, I will listen to podcasts a lot by myself. And a lot of people didn't knew that. I was listening to a lot of stuff the car while I used to drive to work, or sometimes I just be chilling for a little bit, right? So what made me try to go into the realm is men's mental health kind of thing. November came around and I never knew that was a thing because you don't see it advertised, you don't see people talking much about it. And I was like, I would like to have something about that. So I started talking to a couple of people about it, and I was like, "Yeah, you should do it." I was scared about it because I was like, I wasn't at the time very outspoken or someone that vocalized a lot. But I can say on the content creating side, it did force me to actually starting to speak because there's two sides of I feel someone that content, meaning the person that streams games. There's the individuals that just focus on the game and don't talk to chat, and there's individuals that actually do both, right? So it kind of mold me into someone that has to like talk more and try to engage with the audience more, community more kind of thing. So when I did that first podcast talking about mental health, and it was November is considered month of November, so men's mental health month, right? We did that first one, but never had what's the podcast called? Candid Conversations. It was just we just went live and did it, right? Within I think 24, 48 hours, we reached 1,800 people with that first podcast we did. And I had a few people message me about it, if you only know how much that podcast you guys did help me. So I'm like, you know what? At least we were able to reach one person I know personally, and it made him feel better about himself and be able to be moving on with his life versus not kind of thing, right? So I started getting messages from a couple of people from my community like, hey, when you gonna have another podcast? When you gonna have another podcast? And I said I wasn't sure because as I said, as we say, life started lifing. Everyone else was doing their own thing and trying to schedule people back for meetings, and we're kind of missing each other. And I got to a point where I got tired. I said, I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. I'm just gonna say forget it. And then my original co-host reached out to me. She was like, hey, yeah, you should start. And when she hit me up, I was like, let's try it. So last year, we sat down and we officially created Candid Conversations Podcast. So it's crazy how I've been doing this for a year now and still be able to maintain it and still reach out to guys like you, people like you, and be able to still reach our community, regardless of what the topic is. But the foundation is always about mental health, right? But I try to pick topics that connects to that, because for me, sometimes I go live when I'm having a bad day, and it's hard sometimes to even get up, walk into this room, turn on all the computers, create a topic, and then hit live. And I realized within 15, 20 minutes of me going live, I forgot what I was having a bad day about, So this is why I do this. And this is why I invite you guys, because I think is needed, because we see different podcasts or podcasters. I'm talking about different things. You got the ratchet side, you got the normal side, you got anything you want to talk about. But I feel where when it comes to the content side of things, I don't see it much, So that's why I say, you know what? That's why I do it once a month, so it's not overwhelming. And I just come up with different topics and say, and reach out to individuals I think that will be best to fit those categories. So that's why I reach out to you guys on the content side and the hobby side. So it's like you have an understanding what we're trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
So one thing I thought about, all three of us we do a lot of GTA RP together, right? That's how we kind of entwine. Do you feel on the RP side that kind of puts you in that bubble I'm referring to as you being yourself within another character or characters?
Uh,
What are your thoughts on that?
that's tricky. That's tricky. I'm explain on my part why that's tricky. So, okay. When I started role play, I saw Townsend. This was during COVID. I saw Townsend and I was just like, oh my God, this is so dope. This is cool. I gotta jump in on it, And I tried it the first night and I was just like, yo, I can't go to sleep. So I stayed up 24 hours. I stayed up 48 hours and I was like, okay, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that it was like a getaway.
Yeah.
At that point in my life, my marriage was like super rocky. Like I just wasn't there, and I wanted to find peace somewhere else. And so it was like a getaway. So I would fly in and then, interacting with all of these people. It's just like, oh, being a stay-at-home mom, I'm in the house all the time. My marriage is awful. And then it's just like I fly in and I'm treated completely different. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like I would rather do this every day than to be in the reality of being in my house. And then when adding streaming to that, it was just like I didn't have a social life really. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a stay-at-home mom. And so I didn't get out much. I didn't have a lot of people at that time. And so being able to have my community, talk to the community, how the people that was in the community from the RP, that helped a lot. And it helped me express myself. So while I was able to be myself through my characters, I also was able to be the people that's inside of me that I think of and drum, like just crazy stuff. Like you sit
Mm-hmm.
and think about doing these things and it's just like, oh man, I would never do that in real life, but I can on GTA.
That's why I asked it. I didn't want to lead the question. That's why I asked it that way,
Yeah.
because I wanted to get your point of view from someone that actually was heavy into RP.
Oh yeah. So
Because go
all
ahead.
of my characters are like a piece of me. So like
Hmm.
Liddy is my past, Sunshine is like, the more mature me, and then the little old lady is how I feel I'm going to be in the future. So it's just like I just take all of these pieces and just put them together and I run with it.
Yeah, that's yeah, you answered it good. What about you, Big Red? What was your outtake or your
Man, it was all Honeycomb fault. Man, this wonderful woman, Big Red, you be so good at RP. I'm telling you, you just need to try it out. Just are you gonna like it? They gonna love it. And I finally got the courage to do it. And yeah, we came up with Tank Williams. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I had a good time, man. It it was a different type. I'm going from American Truck Simulator into role playing. It was a big change for me and my community. Uh, and you asked something about uh people being their own bubble and having their character as them. I believe when you first start RPing, everybody is that character like that. You come out in that first character, and it's just natural. Because I know when I did Tank, that was a lot of my personality. It wasn't really role playing. It was just Big Red. You know what I'm saying, with a different name. And after that, I began to mold Tank into more of a role playing character. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
like when I first started, boy, it was nervous, and I'm streaming, got people watching me, and I don't know the buttons, I don't know the key binds, and man, it was a mess, man. But when I got the hang of it, I had a good time, and it was definitely it's definitely experience, and uh, yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and then you meet other content creators within the city, and you develop relationships within RPing. It's pretty dope, man, and it's like it is a space. It's a safe, a safe place, and a safe space, for people to have fun. It can be, but there's other servers that, luckily Honeycomb had a good server. Like, like, hey, you follow by this or you out. But the other servers, boy, woo! I done stepped in some servers, and
Man.
so, but yeah, like, the one, that'll always be hard. Hold on. That'll always be hard to me
Mhm.
because of how good of an experience it was. You know what I'm saying? As
Yeah.
far as, Honeycomb's community, and, just the one server. It was awesome. I enjoyed it because when I tried out Townsend and, some other servers, and I'm going to be honest, man, like, you see, I'm not doing it. So, like, the one was like, it for me. Like after the one, I couldn't find nothing else that fit that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, don't make her cry. Don't
yeah,
make her
it
cry
was
now.
great. It was great.
Don't make her cry now. Stop it.
Oh, ain't no
Hey,
tears. Ain't no tears.
it's the truth though. It's the
It's true
truth.
though. It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
I started off on a startup. I got invited over by one of my brothers, content creator brothers back then. He was starting something up with a couple other people, and that was my first introduction into RP. And I mean, fresh diaper kind of guy, kind of thing. You know what the hell going on, but it started off good because I was actually learning, and these are guys that are heavy RP guys, so I understood some of the do's and don'ts and stuff like that, and that's how Sean Van first came about. So doing that for a while, and it got bad, and it's sad to say it was all about money. It went downhill. And that's the time I was home for a while, and it just left a bitter taste in my mouth. And some people that I thought wouldn't have done certain things did some things, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. So people moved out the city, created their own city, and I got invited in, and it went down the hill again. I said, you know what, I'm done. Forget it. So I said, maybe I need to go to one of these big servers, big cities. Same thing, and then it's a whole different ball game, and it's like it just didn't match me. So I think it's Big Red. You told me about Big Red. Big Red. You told me about it first. Yeah,
Which one?
on the one.
Oh,
the original one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. I came in, and then I started doing that. I said, okay. And I finally got used to everything. And then one day I came in, I was like, where the city at? Hold up, I only gone for a couple weeks. I said, here we go again. But it's true though, with the RP thing, it allows you to be your true self, things that you feel that you can't do in real life, that you think people might look at you kind of crazy. Why are you saying this? Why are you acting like that? But it's actually true you. And you can bring that out in your different individuals that you create. So rewind back, I had 2 characters. A lot of people didn't know that. So I had Sean Van, which is the officer. It was originally state trooper back then, and became sheriff, cop, PD, whatever. And then there was another guy, actually 3 characters. So there was Sean Van, and then General, which is actually Sean Van's cousin from the other city. So General is a guy that you don't know about, but you might hear his name, but you don't see him. But he has his hands in everything. Meaning, if you need some investment, he be an investor. XYZ, in a good side and a bad side. So that was one of my characters back on the original CD I had. Then I had a news character guy, which kind of nerdy guy with glasses, and he just go around and shoot the videos for the news company, stuff like that. So those were my original characters. But I had fun, had a good time. And then in the first one city, I actually had a great time in that one. We had all kind of different stuff with different parties, and it was a good time. But it was a little bittersweet when I found out here in the city as long as you about. I was like, all right. And then they brought it back, and I came in for a little bit. But that's how I joined another city, which is called Brickyard. Brickyard now is similar to how Honeycomb City was.
Yeah.
Which is kind of.
I mean, they branched off
merged,
from us, you know? So, yeah.
So I had a good time there, and then boof, it was gone. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I just kind of gave up. It's like I realized every time I get into a good city I start loving, something happens. I don't know why. So
a lot of it is because of a bubble. And I learned this being an owner. It's kind of like once you have a bubble of people, we all have been RPing for like years, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we just keep attracting the same people to the same places. And it's not any versatility. It's not a variety of people. These are the same, the same people. The second time around, it was a lot better because everybody didn't know everybody and it wasn't any, so it's kind of like that 5M magnet. Like, I know you from here, so
True. I think that's it with every you. So you have your waves of things, right? So you have to learn to adapt. So with the city going, and you guys knew I only RP'd at nighttime, and I never try to RP during the day. I just do that nighttime, and that was my go-to. So it forced me to actually go back to my roots. And Big Red, I'm coming with that. Back to ATS. I had to go back to my first love, and I was like, damn, I didn't realize how much I missed this thing. You know what I mean? And like last year, can I talk about it, Big Red? Can I talk about it? Can I talk about it? I'll talk about it. So last year, it's just happened by fluke, by luck. I came back from Houston. I had to come back early because I had to work the next day, which is Sunday. Came back from Houston that Saturday, and I wasn't going to go live because my daughter had a color guard competition down there, and everyone stayed down there, and I came back. I wasn't going to go live, and I decided to go live and, vibing with the community a little bit. And guess who popped in the stream? Big Red. And it's so crazy how he came in. I'm not going to go in depth. Big Red wasn't so having a good day. Right? I said, you know what? It just came to me. I said, we're going to dedicate this stream to Big Red. And when I tell you, Cone, it was club session. I mean, I started playing some, of course, he's from ATL. We started playing some music like that. But of course, on Facebook, so we had to kind of slow it down a little bit. But the vibe itself, where even though you're not face to face with each other, you can still have that type of connection with your community, regardless of who it is, even if it's another content creator or not. But that was one of my biggest ATS stream ever. But I didn't make it about me. I actually made it about the community, and I also made it about Big Red because I said he was not having a great day. He told me that. So we just vibed up. We had a good time, and I was acting a fool. But we had a good time. But he said, hey, Clyde, you don't know how much you made my day. And that's what it's all about. I've always told myself, I don't care how long I stream or how long, it doesn't matter. If I can at least help one person with my content, I achieve my goal. And that's it. And sometimes I don't realize the person is me sometimes. You know what I mean? So this is some of the reasons why I am into this and why I don't care too much if, hey, you make your money, that's fine. But I've always told people, if you're coming into the content creator world and that's your number one goal, you're not going to be successful.
That's fact.
But you got to come into it because you love it. You got to come into it because it's something you want to do, and you reap the benefits after the fact. That's what I say. It's like, just enjoy your time of what you like to do. It doesn't matter. It could be, I saw a couple of people on Kick where they just go live at a restaurant only. That's all they do. Yeah. But they love it. And people actually sit there and watch them do stuff like that. So this is another reason why I said kind of branched off in doing podcasts, because having these kind of conversations to our current community and to people that are not part of the community, they can kind of get some pieces of information where they can learn from it and also can help them too. You know what I mean? So that's where it's our time. I'm gonna stick with the time. I think we're good.
Let me touch on some of what you said though, Tola.
Yeah.
So you was mentioning about you'd be surprised how many questions I get, when I am streaming, man. Like, bro, you make money? Like, how can I make money? And bro, like, I have such the most negative reaction to that because I try to tell people, man, if you trying to do this for money, you're gonna be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you know, three things that drive me is 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 blessing people with
Yep.
positivity in their lives. And like you said, man, changing somebody's day, attitude, uh, just anything. You know what I mean? Introducing, I'm all about God. Like I said, God first. You know what I'm saying? And just to be able to witness to people in my own type of way, my own type of energy. And it's not the common way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love. Like that's the definition of a content creator. I can witness to people. I can spread the love and peace and joy of God in my own way, and people love it. And that's my passion with what I do, and that drives me. It's definitely not about the money, but like you said, one day it could be. It
Hmm.
could be. There
Yep.
is a possibility. But it's a small chance. Like you have a small amount of big streamers that actually make six figures, that actually have a career doing this, and then you have all the other streamers. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? And so the possibility is there. But yeah, a lot of people like, man, I want to do this, man. They think we rich, and we not. We not. I promise you, I'm not.
It's
Yes.
so
crazy you say that, Red, because me personally, and y'all will never believe this, I never was into gaming like prior to streaming. I didn't have a want to stream. I ended up my then husband at the time, he wanted to be a streamer. And he started on Twitch playing this game Dauntless. And he was up for deployment. And I was just like, well, I'll start streaming and build a community. And then when you come back, you'll have a community. But
Yeah.
then I end up falling in love with it, and it's because other people, like Red said, it's like just having that those people to talk to, and then I always get those people that's broken in some kind of way or need a shoulder to lean on, or they don't have family, they don't have friends, and it's just like I even had somebody say I come in your streams just to listen to you so I can go to sleep, you know and it's just you never know what doing for somebody. Just you coming live, they having bad days. People used to tell me all the time, oh, you didn't go live for 2 days, I was having terrible days and I just needed your presence. And just knowing how much of an impact you have on people, it'll definitely change your perspective on streaming.
That's someone said in the chat. Facts. That's true because that's weird. You say that though. It's like, or a lot of my on Facebook side, right? Not all, but my first majority foundation of individuals was international people because I used to go live really early in the mornings on Friday, on Saturdays and Sundays. So of course, for them, it's either broad daylight or evening time for them, and that's what I used to get a lot. It's like, man, you don't know how much your stream helped me, and a lot of them were from New Zealand on those sides where that was their getaway, where you just don't know, right? So when you're hearing those positives back from people, it does fuel you to want to keep going. Um, if always want to like really look out for your community because that's what it is. You're building a community, not just for yourself, but for everybody. So when I get messages on the side and hear different things, it's like it's great to have positive reinforcement. We do, of course, and we do get some negatives. But I ain't gonna talk about that one. But that really that one day I got that message my friend, that shit pissed me off. I was pissed off to the point I ignored it. My community was like, "Nah, we see Clyde. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And I just had to finish the stream, and I was pissed. And when I got off, a couple of them messaged me on the side. It's like, hey man, we saw that. God, don't worry about it. He just got some. He just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, kind of thing. But it was like I never thought of me experiencing that type of negativity in ATS of all things. Whereas like I was shocked. But to have a community that actually have your back though, that's another big thing too. So to see them having my back because of that, that's like, you know what, this is real, this is good. I like this. But it's like having that on the content side and also trying to have that also in IRL, it's different to me, even though it's the same category, but it's still different. But it's just crazy though. But that's why I like the content thing. I like because you're able to network, like how we are. Even though we're not in RP anymore, we're still able to connect with each other. You know, same thing. I used to be heavy on COD, but now I don't even mess with that no more. It's been years. So now you have, for me and Bread, we still have one mutual connection, which is ATS, right? I know for you, Cone, you don't really game no more, but we still connect regardless. We still have TikTok, which I'm new to this now, but we're still able to connect with our content brothers and sisters, regardless if it's through gaming or not. Because for us, we're big on Discord back then. We connect with each other through Discord. That's what we used to do. But I notice that don't happen a lot anymore. So certain things I want to bring back. I don't know if you guys remember, we used to do a lot of movie nights in Discord. I want to bring that back. So those are some of the things I want to do this year. I'm trying not to do so much, but because, I'm only one person, but having movie night with the community, I think that's something we need to bring back for sure, and bring other content creators back in and kind of just have a powwow in Discord and just chop it up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we need that.
So somebody from the community had a question, and I do want to kind of direct this to Red a little bit, because I know he done went through the burnout just like me. I used to see them posts all the time, but Wanda wants to know what keeps you going when you just don't feel it anymore.
Man, how deep y'all want me to talk?
Hey, you remember I told you what the description of the podcast is about, right?
Man,
go ahead, man. Be you.
One is Mama Dora. Okay, that's one. Mama Dora ain't gonna let me quit. Two, man, it's you know when I sit down and I think about the positive stories I've got out of me streaming, as far as like, Big Red, you say, and I don't like to gloat. I don't try to gloat on, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But just people telling me the stories of them, how I affected them in a positive way, really, really drives me to keep doing it. Cause that means, hey, God working through me in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that. And and that's really the passion that keeps me going. It is very hard. I'm not gonna lie. I've burnt myself out many times. It's affected my relationship with my wife. It takes a lot away from your everyday life being a content creator sometimes. And sometimes you can get too caught up in content creating. I've been there, like, where I don't even pay nothing no mind but this computer. And so time management, and I've learned to slow down and really manage my time better, as far as not burning myself out no more. Cause it's real easy to do, man. It's a lot of negativity in this world, and sometimes it does reach your community, sometimes it does reach your chat, and believe it or not, it does rub off on the streamer. You know what I'm saying? It really does, like, and some things that are said touch you in some ways, and then you gotta put on this face and act like it didn't bother you, but it really did. And inside you really cussing that person out, and you want to reach through there and, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we ain't gonna get into all that. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, Honeycomb, your turn.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Let me see. What keeps me going? Period, point blank, my community. Um, every time I walk away, I have these little messages that's just like, "Hello, you here? Where you at? Like, what you doing?" And it makes me think. I'm just like, damn. I walked away, but I have all of these people that, in a sense, depend on me. And it's like, in a way, I depend on them. What am I doing? And it brings me back. Like, I have to find a balance. And if, doing this is making me stressed to the point to where I can't interact with my people, then I need to stop doing that thing then. So my community is definitely what keeps me going, period. It ain't no money, I can tell you that. I can tell you
Oh,
that.
oh.
Ain't no money.
It definitely ain't the money.
Ain't the money at all.
Oh man.
If it was the money, everybody be doing it.
Yeah. But I've
Yeah.
I've helped so many people, and I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful for what I've been able to do. I'm sure when I'm long and gone, y'all will hear all of the stories that people are keeping in their little back pockets. But just being able to, like I said, just be that person and give. Like, I've saved 3 people from domestic violence relationships. And I've met them through streaming. They were content creators that I just came across. And you just never know when you're gonna run into that person. So me being a person that I'm naturally a lover. I'm a giver. I guess you could say I'm a people pleaser. And that's what I'm here. That's what I do. I'm here for the laughs and the cries and everything. So
Yeah.
what about you, Tola?
I'm just here for the views. I'm just kidding. Nah, it's I could piggyback off that. Community is one of the main things for sure. I think without our community, I don't think we will continue to be doing this. That's how I feel. Um, and then getting certain messages in your live, like, it feeds you, of course, on the positive side of things, where you might. I'll give you an example. I got on live one time and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be here," and I was just zoned out, like, not looking at chat, just zoned out. I was like, I ain't been live in a week. I'm gonna go live before I lose my status, kind of thing, right? And same thing as you guys said. It's like, man, we ain't see you in a minute. You still alive? What's going on? You doing okay? And I happened to look over, and the message was sent 6 minutes ago. And I was like, oh crap! And I apologize. I wasn't looking at chat, and da 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 da. And then it came back and said, yeah, I lost connection. Yeah, man, we haven't seen you in a while. Is everything okay? How was it going? And I was, of course, on ATS, and I brought a new truck back out, and it was like, yeah, that's a nice truck. And I come to find out it was the same guy that's always in my stream every day from the hospital. And same thing, he's like, man, I've been looking for you, and I haven't seen you in a while, and I got a little bored. And he's like, man, you got to keep going live, and help me out a little bit. And I realized he was looking for that. That's what he needed, because Big Red, he was an actual IRL trucker. Health issues, couldn't truck no more, got stuck in the hospital he was in for a while. So that was his thing to help him get through his, at the time, bad situation. So hearing that from him, I ain't trying to cry tonight, but hearing that from him, where I was able to be there from him to help him through his situation where he couldn't walk at the time, right? So a lot of the pointers of him explaining which engine goes with which transmission, and I mean, he broke it down to the science, where for this type of haul, you need this type of engine / transmission with this one. And for your long hauls, heavy hauls, you need this. I never knew any of that. I learned that from him. And he was like, yeah, for Caterpillar engines, yeah, you should do this. And it was like, listening to him, of course, through chat, it was just crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, so I look for stuff like that now. and then I just looked over a chat. So someone said Big Red. I listen to Big Red stream while I'm driving just for the good vibes in the morning. Prime example. So it's like we don't realize how much we do for our community. But when they start giving us the information back like this, it's like that's what, as I said, fuels me for sure. And even though we don't watch each other like we used to back in the day, we still drop in from time to time, a couple minutes. Big Red, you know that. Honeycomb, you know that. I drop in you guys stream from time to time, especially at work. I would jump in for a couple of minutes, then I jump back out because I gotta go to work. But those are some of the things where you see your everyday individuals in there, regardless if it's just for 60 seconds, 5 minutes, the whole stream, 10, you know what I mean? Those are things that we look forward to, where that one message can brighten your whole entire day. You know what I mean? So this is why I do this part, is the podcast thing, because I feel, for me personally, were they laughing? I feel we could do more on this side when it comes to this. Yes, on our streaming side of things, we're doing great. But I feel as content creators like us doing this type of podcast kind of thing, I feel it allows our community to see us more on a personal side of things, a personal side. That's what I see. I saw
Yeah. One thing Wanda said, community becomes family.
Yep.
And man, like, I got so many brothers and sisters through the community, is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And man, I mean, it's just everyday life. It becomes everyday life, man. Your friends, family, and it just becomes a part of you. And and I do want to say this, Mama Dora and Wanda, them two devs. Hey, we gonna have to watch them, honey. we gonna watch this.
Which one was the one? Remember Big Red that won that last year? We were hitting the music really good. Was it Mama? I think it's one of those.
Oh, it's probably Mama Dora. Probably. Yeah.
Honeycomb, I was playing some Movado.
Oh, I like Movado.
I was like, what you know about Movado? I was like, so yeah, we had it. That was a really, really good stream. I actually restreamed that a couple months ago, actually. But yeah, it was a great time. Cody said, I'm from Big Red Stream, been with him for what, 3 years? I agree with, oh, it's moving. Who are you talking about? Listening to Red Stream helps. Yeah. Can't chat much. I like, okay. Yeah. So that's what I said. A lot of us may not say anything. A lot of us may not come in. That's weird. I was trying to, almost got kicked off. A lot of us be in our thing, doing our thing, whatever you want to say. And a lot of individuals would come in, don't say much, but just visually watching us and listening to us is something that's all they need. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give an example. I think it was earlier today you was live, I think, honey. I think it was. And as soon as I got in, you were laughing. Big Red. Does she have a contagious laugh? Meaning,
I'm always laughing.
The laugh, it don't matter what kind of day you have, and you hear her laugh, it's gonna put a smile on your face. So today I was like in the car, and I saw, oh, she's live. I tapped on it, and all I hear was straight laughing for a couple minutes, and I started smiling. I ain't even look at the phone yet. It's just, she got this laugh where, yeah, you might having a bad day, but she gonna make you smile regardless. That's the way I look at it. So that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like the little things we do, we don't know how much it helps people. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I got. That's what we got. We hit in our hour mark, and I said we on time. So before we end things, being grad, give us some positives on your outro. What you got?
Man, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. The only thing that stands in your way is yourself. You know, when you trying to do something, do it. You know, we all have fears, and I've accomplished a lot of my fears. You know, I don't like being in front of a camera, and I do it every day now. I was scared to death to drive an 18 wheeler, and I drove it 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you, one of the most intimidating things was cranking up a stream. When I started this, boy, I was almost shaking out my chair when I first started streaming. You know, but like I tell anybody, man, like, set out and do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Life is short, and anything is possible through God. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta say that's my outro.
All right, go ahead, honeycomb.
Well, all I got to say is kind of the same as Big Red said. Believe in yourself. If it's something you want to do, do it, and make sure you are doing it for you. Live for you. Don't worry about pleasing nobody but you, because when you try to please everybody else, you'll be the most miserable person in the world.
Yep.
Follow your heart, follow your dreams, and don't let nobody tell you anything different. Okay, believe what you believe and roll with it.
Oh, I like that. I don't know if I can say anything after that one. So that's true. Man. Okay, I don't know. I think you said everything I want to say. But true, like, just be yourself, right? Be true to yourself regardless of what you're doing. That's one thing I've been learning within the past year or two is loving yourself. I feel, it's my opinion, that's the hardest shit to do. Is to really love yourself, believe in yourself, to not depend on someone else to love you. What's important is take care of yourself, find time for yourself, love yourself, find those little hobbies, those little things you like to do. It could be just reading a book. It could be listening to music for 20, 30 minutes or whatever. Just find that me time for yourself, because what you're doing is allowing yourself to understand yourself, if that makes sense, where you can be comfortable. Once you feel comfortable with yourself, it don't matter what nobody said to you, no matter what nobody did to you, it will not phase you, right? And this goes for anyone that's in relationships or not. This is something that you have to do. And when you realize and you start doing those things, those routines where you have your me time maybe once a week or 30 minutes every day or whatever, it don't matter. Get that time for yourself and keep that as a process where you realize it would change your mindset on a lot of things. So once you start believing in yourself, people will see that. And that's where that glow or wherever that aura, people can start seeing that, and that can feed into people. So that's my 2 cents, because everyone else said everything else. But as I always say, stay safe, stay blessed. I just say, put your boy Tola, we out. I'm gonna